that kind of trash. They should be ashamed of that.
So announced
Man.
plans for the new. Okay, so in 2000 and November 16th, 22, plans on new Gamera production released on Netflix. The guy who did the original Heisei Gamera trilogy wanted to do a film, but
Considered murder?
they decided against it, against the new movie, and decided to go with the anime. I was a little disappointed because
The movie would have been cool.
Well, did you see the original trailer for the movie?
Yeah. But I thought that was going to be in Japan only, though.
Well, like
I mean, how many Godzilla movies come out in Japan that we never get?
well, they're short films, so
I know. They're almost like webtoons. I mean, I'd love to get some of those films they put out over there.
well, shoot,
What I like about Gamers, it reminds me of like some of the way it plays reminds me of the '90s Godzilla.
We talking the cartoon?
Yes.
Okay, the '90s Godzilla cartoon was a breath of fresh air towards cartoon and towards animation, especially since we lost so many wonderful shows after the '80s. Come on, you love that show.
I love that.
Yeah, but he only came out if Matthew Broderick needed him, or
Well, he had several episodes where he was rampaging on his own. He had like 2 episodes where it was just Godzilla by himself doing stuff, and then the crew shows up later.
There is a few. The biggest one that like really gets me is I think it's called Mother's Day. That's the one where Godzilla ends up meeting another mutant lizard, which was a Komodo dragon, like a female Komodo dragon kaiju. They ended up hitting on having an egg, but then the giant snapping turtle shows up and ends up like kind of trying to steal the egg, and the mother sacrifices herself, and the egg dies with it.
but in the movie, Godzilla was female.
It was reproducing asexually.
They could have been a boy or a girl, and then, well, I mean, but there was the one egg left.
Well,
so.
they said he was pregnant.
Yeah, that's true. He was.
Yeah, like he would, like because it states that Godzilla, like 90 age reproduces asexually. But originally, where it did fantastic in the box office, but it just wasn't what people wanted. And because of all the backlash, we didn't get the other 2 sequels that would have ended up adding to it.
Well, that's
Toho
because
backed out
if
so
anything better, had they just not made the Godzilla.
Well, I don't know.
Monsters.
Toho was behind it there for a long time.
Well, like they were behind it, but also they didn't care for the design, and they kind of gave the ultimatum of either accept this or I'm just not going to make the movie.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's like,
I mean they got a good return off the movie.
Yeah, and they still get returns off the movie because they like all the reruns. They still do DVD sales on it. That's like
Which is weird because there's a lot of people you talk to when you bring up Godzilla, and either you talk to them and Godzilla 2000 is one of their favorites, or it's the Matthew. They go, that one with what's his name, the worm guy. You go, Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. Yeah, that one. I like that one. It's like you just said Godzilla 2000 or that one are your favorites, right? You realize that these kids don't know what the hell they're talking about when they say that. And you go, there's a lot of other Godzilla films
And
out
all
there,
of
too.
the Godzillas are coming out now because they're all CGI.
So,
I love the new ones.
yeah, the new one's legendary. Is doing amazing with those Godzilla movies. Godzilla 2014 was a breath. I mean, granted, he was only on screen for like 10 minutes.
He's normally on for
Exactly.
15 minutes.
Yeah, but that movie was a breath of fresh air, man. That was great. And then, of course, the sequels. Both sequels are amazing.
Yes.
And now we've got this whole MonsterVerse whole thing where Universal's trying to start the MonsterVerse.
Yeah, their original monster, like dark. Well, they call it the Dark Universe now
because they did Dracula Undead or no?
It was. They started with. I think it started with either Dracula or Frankenstein, and then it went to. They tried. Then they tried to do the Mummy. It didn't do good. Then they tried. I think they tried to do Invisible Man.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking way back in the original day.
No, this is recent.
The recent ones? I thought Dracula Untold was like the rebirth where they were trying to start all that back.
I didn't like Dracula Untold. It just did not follow the lore at all.
Okay, since Twilight's been out, no movie's ever been vampire lore accurate. I don't know. Renfield was really good.
Twilight wasn't even vampire lore accurate.
That's what I'm saying.
Ever.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see.
Nobody knows the true vampire lore.
Renfield was good.
Yeah.
Okay,
I followed it.
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker. I call him Bram.
Okay, here we go. We had Dracula Untold, 2014 was the first one. Then The Mummy. Then The Invisible Man in 2020.
Which was I want to say that movie was decent.
Then there was Renfield.
And that was a good one.
Renfield was funny.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was going to be good because it was a Nicolas Cage movie, but I didn't expect it to be as good as it was.
Then there was The Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Was trash.
Haven't seen it yet. I want to, though.
It depends.
Then we got
if you're a real big Los Ferratus fan.
Then there's The Invisible Woman, Wolfman,
Invisible Woman. That's going to be that sequel to the Invisible Man one, isn't it?
Hellsing. This is like the slate of films that are apparently like unreleased but in development to be announced.
They're all Universal.
Yeah, and then you got these are ones that says in development. You got Bride of Frankenstein, The Dark Army, Monster Mash, Frankenstein.
Was it I, Frankenstein? Was that the rebirth of Frankenstein?
I think that was a sequel, Frankenstein, where he's lived all these years and they find him.
Because I remember I, Frankenstein was terrible.
Frankenstein.
Whatever.
And then
Frankenstein's Berenstein Bears.
Jewish.
It's not Berenstain Bears, it's Berenstein Bears.
There's a Creature from the Black Lagoon. Apparently there's another Dracula movie, Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback.
Wait, I gotta take that one back. It's Berenstain Bears with an A. Wait, no, it's an E. What is it? Is it an E or an A?
Berenstain.
Then there's Hunchback of Notre Dame. Either way. Invisible Man 2 and The Scorpion King.
No! We just ate dinner.
A lot of stuff. Confirmed but untitled film. So we are apparently getting another Frankenstein.
Okay, but is it Berenstein or Berenstain?
Depends on which one, because they used both.
Okay, what do you think it actually is supposed to be?
My knowledge, it's always been the Berenstein Bears.
Berenstain Bears?
The Berenstein Bears.
I grew up with Berenstein Bears.
She also grew up in Appalachia. Wait, all of us grew up in Appalachia.
I grew up in Ohio County. I grew up in Wheeling.
Okay, we all grew up in the foothills of Appalachia. We all agree to that. That's what that is over there. That's what that is across the river.
That's what I eat all the time.
Okay.
But, I don't know. Just, we got a monster universe coming. I think it's going to be good. I don't think the monster...
Go watch your movie.
The Universal monster movies, I don't think them are going to be as good as Legendary Pictures is.
Go watch your Batman.
Of course, we're talking monster and monsters. Kaiju. How about just kaiju?
Yeah.
Which I want to point out, we were talking about Gamera. In Gamera, was not one of the villains called Knifehead?
No, it was it wasn't Knifehead. Like it's like I guess that's his nickname that everybody calls him. But it was a Gurren.
I know, but wasn't it that detective?
That's what they wanted to name him, but they were like, nah.
Wouldn't that be copyright from Pacific Rim? Because wasn't there big kaijus called Knifehead? But doesn't that one guy call him Knifehead? The one character in the show, don't they call him Knifehead?
Well, I think they say he just looks like he has a knife for a head.
Oh.
But Knifehead was one of the Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's what I thought, yeah.
But he was kind of designed after Gurren, if I'm not mistaken, was...
That whole where he could jump and like bend his body to contort different ways. I'm telling you, they got that from deers. Because you hit a deer with your car, you watch one of those things jump, they can move their leg one direction and all of a sudden change completely the way they're facing.
In my opinion, that was the best fight.
Oh, that fight was gorgeous. I mean, I hated that the whole base that they were fighting on kind of looked like shit, but because it was just blocky buildings.
It was a Guiron, Guiron, Guiron.
Guiron?
Yeah.
Guiron.
Guiron. Guiron, yeah.
Guiron.
Yeah, because they used like all of them except for one monster. There's only one monster they did not use in this new series. There's Gaio. Longest time I've always called them Gaios.
Gyros.
Yeah, they used Gyros, they used Viros, they used Guren, they used Yeager, and they used Sigra.
Sigra, that's the bird one, right? At the very end?
No, that's Gaios. No, that one was the shark-looking one.
Oh, yeah. That one, man, when we were first watching that one, it looks like a manta ray, so peaceful and calm. But you know it's going to do something stupid.
It's going to hide the heroines.
It's going to have some move, some fighting thing that's just ridiculously dumb. And then it can shoot out those pulses or whatever. Like, and they're like, it's using echolocation like a dolphin. I mean, that's the biggest dolphin I've ever seen. Thing is huge.
The only one that they didn't use from the Heisei was Baragon.
Baragon.
It was from the second film. It was that one. Look, it was a lizard with...
I know you're talking about.
The turd lizard.
Yeah, that had magical rainbow powers.
Oh, so it's a unicorn then.
Yes.
Oh.
It was a pretty good one. But yeah, never showed up anywhere else. And the main reason they never really used it was because it was so close to Baragon.
Okay, that makes sense. I asked her, and you can enlighten me more about this. Okay, so Godzilla and Gamera take place in two different universes from one another.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it the same Earth?
Yes.
Hold on. If it's the same Earth, or is it two different Earths on two parallel timelines? Because the only reason I ask is they showed the global map of Earth in Gamera, and it didn't look right. There was things kind of like Europe didn't look right on some of the pictures they were showing.
And what took place in the future?
Well, I know that.
But also with it...
Godzilla took place in the past and present.
So is Godzilla set on our Earth and Gamera set in the future of our Earth?
Mm-hmm.
Is that how it is? So they take place on the same planet but just different timelines?
Same planet, different timelines, yep.
Are we talking original Gamera Showa, or are we talking?
I'm talking. Well, I guess we could.
Or are we just talking? Because
you would think
watch your movie.
Gamera's. We've never had a Godzilla Gamera crossover movie, which would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Well,
the two of them start fighting one another, then all of a sudden they stop and they go, "Whoa, you were kind of the exact same." Then they turn the fight, they get a whole bunch of other kaiju show up and they go,
No, Tim.
what do you do? What do you do? And then they just start back-to-back fighting. A turtle and a lizard.
I wouldn't see that. I'd see him more along the line of him just saying, okay, then here's what I'm going to do. You go in your shell and I'll just beat them over the side of the head with you.
I will say he had some really cool attacks, like the Buzzsaws attack, and
he's done that in the original series.
I know, but they made it look so cool in the cartoon.
That's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't really care for the Gamera when his kind of arms turn into like sea turtle arms and flies through the air like that. I'm not a big fan of that. It's it looks cool. But I love...
All of a sudden, he's got a jet engine coming out of his ass.
Yes. Yeah, he's flying like Superman.
What was it? They were saying he's flying at Mach 40 or something?
Something like that.
Yeah. To travel from there to there, he had to be traveling Mach 40. And, the cartoon, the show, the new show, it made the U.S. Army look so incompetent.
Well, to be fair, Gamera makes all adults look incompetent.
I know, but
I bet
it
you
may
watched
be
it when I get to the
the old movies though is the Japanese self defense.